Ladies, a lot of you are still single because you've become the full package. You've become smart, successful, beautiful, independent women.
When you're striving for success and being the best version of yourself, there is always gonna be men who are intimidated.
I truly think that men are intimidated by women.
The reality is, many of these women have already become the man they always wanted.
Not fucking make yourself small so you can fucking make some average man, below average man comfortable.
A lot of men get intimidated by very strong women.
If a man tells you that you are too good for him, he's not complimenting you.
Why are all these girls single?
This narrative of men being intimidated by women is a myth, something they use to cope. Kindly subscribe to the channel as it further supports us in our work. Thank you.
Tell me if you've seen this before too. Girls who are super, super confident, extremely successful, so pretty, like drop dead gorgeous, have everything going on for them. They're always single. And then on the other hand, guys who are super attractive, confident, super smart, everything, they're always in a relationship. Am I making this up, or have other people seen this trend too?
And I'm like, why are all these girls single? It's like an epidemic of hot, single, successful women. And we haven't been able to like figure it out. And mind you, LA is an extremely tough place to date. But I found that recently I've been dating casually, and there's different types of men, because when you do have this online persona, when you're beautiful, when you're successful, when you're smart and driven, it can be intimidating and deterring to some men.
So it's like,
I found that a lot of men, they just get intimidated when you are a successful woman. And it's funny, you can see them look stressed when they know that you don't need them. And it's definitely affected a lot of people's love lives. I can see it around me.
Every woman wonders the same thing. Why are all these so-called hot, single, successful women still single? And the answer might be simpler than they want to admit. It's probably because of what she said herself. I don't need a man. Now, they might not say it out loud anymore, but it shows in their actions. It's in the way they talk at their man instead of to him. It's in how they treat him like an accessory instead of a partner. It's the subtle attitude that says, I got this with or without you. That energy doesn't inspire love. It pushes it away. When a woman acts in a way that makes her man feel unwanted, unappreciated, or unnecessary just because she's successful, that's on her. That's not independence. That's ego in disguise. And over time, that ego turns into coldness, entitlement, and control. She starts treating the relationship like she's the boss, and the man like he's lucky just to be there.
If a woman is beautiful, is smart, and is successful, does this make her less attractive? And I only ask this because I've noticed there is like an overwhelming amount of beautiful and smart and successful women who are also by themselves. So I'm just asking my TikTok guys and girls for your perspective. Like, is there a reason why successful, beautiful women are by themselves?
Why are beautiful, successful, emotionally intelligent women really struggling to date today? First theory is that men really need to feel valued, and they feel like women have surpassed that place in life where they are able to provide value. So the traditional man is really struggling to feel validation in a relationship with an independent woman because they don't need to earn for them or provide for them. Women are very well capable of that themselves. What I've observed is that this mentality has really started to prevent men from investing in women who have really established careers and seem like they have their shit together. Oh, she's very successful. Well, she can take care of herself. She's doing this, she's doing that. Where do I fit into all of this?
Okay, serious question. Why are men so intimidated by women who can do things on their own? Like, what is it about women who have their own things that make men feel like they aren't in control or are in competition with them? Like, shouldn't that be a good thing, that you don't have to take care of them? Like, serious question. Let me know what it is. Like, what is it about a strong, independent woman that scares a man?
What is it about a strong, independent woman that scares a man? Probably nothing, because men aren't scared. That whole narrative is a deflection, created to avoid accountability for why men aren't interested. The truth is, when a woman constantly leads with, "I'm strong and independent," it's not her independence that's the issue. That phrase often comes with a hardened masculine energy. It's rarely about strength or self-reliance in a healthy way. It's usually a coded way of saying, "I don't need a man, and I'm not going to respect one either." And that's what turns men off. Not fear, not insecurity, but repulsion. Her energy feels combative, not cooperative. A woman can be successful, independent, and still be feminine, but the ones who brag about it constantly usually aren't. They're trying to wear the pants and then wondering why no man wants to stand next to them. It's not about being scared of a strong woman. It's about not wanting to date someone who acts like a man.
The reason why some men hate successful women isn't because they become bitches. It's because they can't control them, conquer them, or dictate their every move. The problem isn't women making money. It's the threat they pose to those who can't handle their success. We have this double standard where strong women are labeled as aggressive or bossy or bitch, where men with these same characteristics are labeled as strong or decisive.
You're a successful woman, you own your own house, you've got a nice car. Why do men find that so intimidating?
Generally speaking, men don't find the success of successful women intimidating. Usually, it is the energy that she carries that for most men just find quite masculine. Because if you're going to be a successful person in any industry, you have to be quite dominant, you have to be quite alpha, you have to be quite a go-getter. Because no one's just going to say, hey, come and take the top position. So anyone who's successful, to become successful, they have to be quite in their masculine. What I've found is that they sit in that masculine energy from their professional work in their romantic life. You're going to attract the feminine men because the masculine attracts the feminine and the feminine attracts the masculine. You're going to attract guys who they're not on their shit. They look to you for guidance. They look to you to hold frame. They look to you to sort the plan. Generally, I would say that's the case. Now, there is an element, a few guys might be intimidated by the level that you're at. And I think a big reason of that is because if they feel that they can't provide that for you, the level that you're at, they feel that you will never choose them. Because we hear a lot of the time, women want a guy on their level or above. If they're like, oh, well, I'm not on her level, why would I even try? And I don't even think it's like an intimidation thing. It's kind of like, if this job position requires me to do 10 years experience and I've only got 1 year, what's the point of me applying? It's not that they're intimidated by it. They just think, I don't have a chance. So what's the point in trying?
God, it's so hard to date in your 30s.
The thing is, most women think money and success are attractive to men. But the truth is, an average woman stays average no matter how much money she makes. That's because men don't date women for their status. That's not how men are wired. A man doesn't care if you have a degree, a six-figure income, or your own business. That might impress your boss or your girlfriends, but it doesn't make you more desirable to a man looking for a partner. This whole idea is really a myth. The belief that money and success make a woman more attractive to men. And it mostly comes from successful women who are struggling to date. They can't understand why men won't deal with their masculine energy, their bossy attitudes, or their constant need to prove they're independent. These women think men are intimidated by their success, when really men are just tired of the constant power struggle. They don't want to fight for leadership in their own home.
Not fucking make yourself small so you can fucking make some average man, below average man comfortable. You fucking go get educated. You fucking go after every opportunity. You go after your dream and dream fucking bigger. Because I'll be fucking damned in 2025 continuing to fucking allow this misogyny. This is fucking breeding. This was taught to us through Disney, through movies. Oh, will you choose the rich man or the poor man? I'm fucking choosing myself, bitch. The fuck? I don't need a fucking man for anything. Period. This angers me so fucking much because it's telling us that we are nothing. We are just bodies. We are just incubators and maids. What the fuck?
It's about
When men make money, their pool gets bigger. When women make money, your pool gets smaller. You know, a man that's like very wealthy, has their own business. I've asked them, like, there'd be like a pretty waiter that comes to the table. I'm like, would you date her? Like, and they're like, yeah, I would date the waiter. It's a natural thing for a man to take care and provide. I also want someone that's has these goals and are taking care of themselves and can teach me something, because I'm focusing on, you know, business and success and financials, which is a masculine quality. And so then you start to get smaller and smaller pools. And then there's also not as many men that feel comfortable dating a woman that's very successful, because then it brings up an insecurity within themselves that you don't need them to provide.
That's actually true. When a man works on himself and becomes successful, his dating options expand. He gains access to a wider range of women, younger, more attractive, more feminine, more cooperative, because success amplifies a man's value in the dating market. But for successful women, it doesn't work the same way. When a woman becomes successful, she doesn't open up her options, she shrinks them. Why? Because most of these women only want to date up. They're looking for a man who makes more money, has more status, and holds more power than they do. In other words, the top 10 to 20% of men. But here's the catch. Those men have all the options, and they aren't lining up to wife up a woman who treats him like a competitor. It becomes a challenge, even a trap. The more successful she becomes, the fewer men she deems worthy, and the less appealing she becomes to the type of man she wants. It's a paradox. Her success boosts her in the professional world, but often isolates her in the dating world.
Here are some unpopular truths about women that they don't want to hear about themselves, but they absolutely need to know, non-feminism edition. All men aren't bad. Stop generalizing this just because you date men that don't value women. All guys aren't intimidated by you. They probably just don't want to date a bitch, so try being nicer. Being in your feminine doesn't mean that you only date guys that make at least $400K a year. Stop dating men solely based off their height and how much money they make, and you'll probably have better success. Value personality. Stop demanding that a guy pays for your nails, your makeup, and your hair extensions. They aren't vehicles just to pay for your hobbies, and men hate that stuff anyway. Men do want to spoil women though, but not one who is demanding and a mooch right away on the first date. Men require intimacy in a relationship, and if you aren't giving him that, then you definitely don't get the princess treatment. If you want something in a relationship, speak up and tell him. He's not a mind reader and you aren't as obvious as you think. He probably stopped texting you back because you're boring and you don't ask any questions and you just leave him on red for hours. It's not cute.
I hear so many people say dating is so hard these days, and you want to know why it's so hard? Being a successful, independent, strong woman with a purpose and a passion and a great career and everything, your dating pool just shrinks like this. Like you start out like this and it just keeps shrinking. There are women out there who are beautiful, have the brains, have drive, have purpose, have passion, have intelligence, they're smart, they're beautiful, they've got everything, the whole package, right? The whole package. And this is not knocking other women. I love, like, you know, girls support girls always. But if a woman has like the whole entire package, a lot of men are threatened by that. A lot of men want to feel superior, you know, whether that's they have a better career or they make more money or they're prettier or whatever it is, they want to feel superior in something. Not all men, but a lot of men. What this then does is it just shrinks your dating pool. It's not to say that it's non-existent, it's just very, very small compared to other people's dating pools. There is nothing wrong with that. It just means that maybe dating apps aren't going to work for you. Maybe it's going to take a little bit longer, but that's okay because you have high standards, and so you should have high standards. It's not that there's no one out there, you're just refining your dating pool. So you're kind of just like filtering out all the guys that just can't deal with successful women pretty much. You should never dim your light for a guy. There is someone out there for you. It's just taking a little bit longer, but just think of it as it's refining the process. Your dating pool is just shrinking, and that's not really a bad thing.
That's incorrect. Men want to be respected. It doesn't matter if your career is better than his or not. Respect is what matters. Only women tend to compare their careers versus their man's career, as if it's some kind of competition. She also mentioned that a lot of men are threatened by full package women. women who are successful with great careers. But that's just not true. Majority men aren't intimidated by a woman's success. Men don't care how much you make or what your title is. They care about how you treat them. A woman can be a CEO, a doctor, or a lawyer, but if she carries herself with humility, grace, and respect, a man will never feel threatened. It's not the full package that pushes men away. It's the arrogance, the condescension, and the constant need to prove you're above him. And that's what they can't seem to understand.
I truly think that men are intimidated by women that have their shit together. Hot take.
I'm gonna boost that hot take and take the I think part out. Men are 100% intimidated by women who have their shit together when they don't have their shit together.
Because more times than not,
you're not secure. They're not.
They don't have their shit together.
No.
And then you have a woman that is fully capable of doing things all by herself and wants to do those things by herself, mentally, physically, emotionally. And then what do you bring to the table?
You know what? If you took the chance to get to know that woman, you would realize that there is parts of her and parts of her life that she doesn't want to have to do it for herself.
1,000%.
Like, yes, I can. And I do it beautifully.
Yeah.
But I would like you to take the load off.
Get your shit together.
Get your shit together.
And, or, you know what? I like to think that it's a process. Like, be in the process of getting your shit together.
Yes, that's.
We're not perfect.
No.
We're still getting our shit.
That's such a good topic.
Oh boy. I'm going to bet this one's going to get me in big trouble. Now, we all know that she's trying to flex here, trying to intimate that if a man is handsome, educated, has money, and yet is still single, then obviously there must be something wrong with him. He must be deficient, unmanly, a loser incel. What she and all the women commenting, liking, and trashing men on that post don't seem to get, hell, what women in general don't seem to realize, is that the reason he's still single isn't because there's something wrong with him, but because there's something wrong with them. And frankly, the overwhelming majority of today's modern women, most especially the ones making videos like this. I mean, it's obvious she thinks she deserves that handsome, educated, rich man. And yet, when he looks at her, he asks himself, well, what does she have that she deserves me? What is she bringing to the table for me? Because, and I'm not trying to be mean here, but while she thinks she's all that, in reality, she's pretty average at best. Pretty average when it comes to looks. And he also asks, is she educated? Is she rich? Well, I don't know about the educated, but truth is, men really don't care that much about that anyway, because they know having a degree doesn't mean diddly squat when it comes to being a good person. And as to rich, well, let's be kind and just say, probably not. So that's 3 strikes against her right there.
Quite frankly, there's nothing wrong with a man who's educated, handsome, and has money. In fact, he would be considered smart for staying that way, focused, disciplined, and not wasting his energy chasing validation or women who don't add value to his life. A lot of these women are out here fishing for something that isn't there. They assume that just because a man is successful and single, he must be broken, emotionally unavailable, or secretly insecure. But maybe, just maybe, he's not interested in entertaining women who bring nothing to the table but expectations and entitlement. They mistake his peace for loneliness, his standards for fear, and his independence for a problem. But the truth is, men like this know their worth. They've worked too hard to build their lives just to let someone come in and disrupt it with drama, competition, or disrespect. He's not hiding. He's protecting his peace.
And it's not just her, but pretty much all the women out there. All the ones who are average but think they deserve 10s. And that's why men who do have it all are single. Because they're smart, intelligent, and have done the ROI calculations. And they've realized that women don't really have anything to offer to them. They quite literally bring nothing of benefit to him or really any man. And while these women think they are the table, they aren't. And all they're ever going to bring to it, and him, is a whole bunch of drama, delusions, and double standards. Smart, successful men have figured it out. It is the actual reason why they're single. They've realized that women are all risk and no reward. They've realized that dating, marrying, and being in relationships with today's women carries no benefits whatsoever. So there's no point in doing it. Ladies, y'all done this to yourselves, and these cute little flex videos like this one aren't helping your case. Not by a long shot. Oh, sure, they make you feel good to make, but all they're really doing is driving the point home to men just how toxic, delusional, and narcissistic y'all are. But hey, you keep making them. You keep thinking that they somehow make you a catch. 'Cause honestly, it's pure comedic gold that you do.
I would agree to that extent. Women of today come with a list of expectations and nothing to offer. And honestly, it's really sad. Even average women think just showing up is enough for a man to go all out for them. No effort, no accountability, no humility, just entitlement. So, if a man has everything, he's stable, successful, has peace of mind and his life in order, why wouldn't he stay single in times like this? What's the incentive for him to commit? What does he gain? The truth is, he has everything to lose. One wrong relationship could destroy his mental health, drain his finances, waste his time, and leave him starting from scratch. And for what? For someone who only valued him for what he could provide. Until more women start bringing real value, not just demands and attitude, men will continue walking away. That's just the reality.